Good morning and welcome to Escape from Mars. I am the blind gaming guy, and I hope you had a chance to go to either join me last week or on last Thursday, or watch the video on demand of last Thursday. But because otherwise you're in for quite a shock when you see what's left of our hover rover. Because the answer is not that much. Yeah, we were indeed able to take out the, or take out, to get the technology out of the secret weapons facility. It came at a cost. Our rover took a very serious pounding. On every angle. Remarkably, though, we lost only nope, we did lose two. We lost two of our high damage turrets. That was the ultimate cost that we paid. Everything else should have been able to have been built beforehand. So, with that said, we're going to do the other part of what we started on Tuesday, a week ago. We got our combat done. Now, we really do need to get down and go after... Ouch, sorry. We really do need to get down and go out after the... oh, the words will come to my brain in a minute. To go after the hydrogen thrusters that are in the cave below us. But to do that means we have to finish building out this drill, and then we have to drill down the rest of the way while driving, because there is no way we are a piston drill over what, or almost a full kilometer, 861 meters. That's just, it's too far to drill. So, that said, I think it's time to start welding. Provided I can hit this button over here correctly. What is that? Sorry, small technical glitches going on here. Okay, so That was weird. Floating. Oh, I see what's causing it. I'm moving relative to this. I don't know why I'm moving relative to this. And even more, I don't know why this is moving. And maybe it will stop moving now. Ah, alright, now we can go back. Good doing what I was trying to do. Two. Six, 7. I have 10 more drills to build. Hopefully everyone's weekend went well. Mine was full of those F words that's perfectly fine to say aloud, you know, food, family, and fun. Although the fun is debatable. It's my youngest son's birthday, and, you know, that's always, while it is always fun, it is not always my kind of fun. And that's not the greatest thing to... We are out of plate. There's a good solid source of plate. We can get lots of plate. Man. How much of what do we have in here? Can I tell this to make more plate? Probably not if it was making motors and it's already stopped. Yeah. Alright, so disassemble. Where are we at? LARG. I have thrown stuff in here piecemeal so many times. It actually is looking like we are going to have to be doing some grinding. And well, normally I would avoid doing what I'm getting ready to do here. Because after all, it is our combat vehicle. But you look at this and tell me it's combat worthy. We'll just have to build something else to fight if we need to. And truth be told, this is just the shaping stuff I'm taking off. It's not like I'm taking off anything that controls functionality. It's so badly mangled I can't even tell what to grind. I'm 1000% sure how much steel I'm even getting out of this versus how much scrap. That actually felt like it was proper amount of steel out of it.
Energy low.
Alright. It's just steel plate keeping us from having this built, so... just do some more grinding. And if I hadn't spent time at the end of last session trying to weld this thing up, I probably would have had the steel to finish the drill, but I thought, I don't know what I thought. Last session was just all about combat. I just was kind of hung up on my vehicle not having died. As long as we can get everything that's not a steel plate into these, steel plate is not... Oh, I've got lots of it. I just have to, you know, grind it. Don't want to go any deeper that way, because that's where the nacelles are. And I'm literally looking at where to stop cutting. Tells you how little my vessel came back. Oh, yeah, that's the blown up. Why would there have been an up right here? Like, seriously, what was that supposed to be connected to? It wasn't supposed to connect to up, it was supposed to connect to down. Use block picker, switch back to the right color. That's what that was supposed to be connected to. All the work to make this thing airtight. It just was blown so badly apart. Oh no. Those cannot come apart.
Energy low.
Is it sad that after all that grinding off at the top, it actually looks better? That's a fun sentence. True, but maybe not one you want to admit. This is one of those times when you need Mickeys to be working right. My resources would not be quite as salvage only if Mickey's was working. But Wicca will get it in time. Okay, so that's the good news. I'm done cutting steel out, hopefully. Let's clean this out.
Convoy dispatched. Delivery X5398. ETA 35 minutes.
Great. We are going to be out of large steel tubes at least. Fact, it is large steel tubes that we are out of. Actually, that's the source of them. There. That should get us where we're going. See, all of this is just a temporary build, too. It's not going to be here forever. So I can take all this and put it back onto the ship. But in the meantime... activate the drills. Terrain clearing drills. Is this thing not locked? It is indeed locked. Now, unfortunately, it did do that, which we'll have to take care of. But not yet. Velocity. 0.1. Go. Okay. Velocity 0.1. Go. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe we are, or maybe we aren't. Holy crap, what just happened? What just happened is disaster for the plant. The drills are literally just flipping my rover. Yeah. That should have been That's my bad. Might be recoverable-ish. Drills off. It might be recoverable-ish. If we pull this back this way, it's just gonna pull me down in the hole. Oh, poo.
Energy low. Fuel low.
Yeah, I'll have to change that and fix that again in a minute. It was a good plan. Did not work. Because I'm not the brightest crayon, but... So let's try it again. Let's take a look at my angle. It needs to be increased. Alright. I was trying to be overly cute is what I was trying to do. And it is not going to work this way. This is the way I would like to do it, but it simply is not reasonable to do it this way.
Your health is critical.
Well, that's good. I almost killed myself falling off of the end of the...
Inventory full.
Probably should go and get some health. Oh, how are we gonna get down there now? We have to tunnel. There's no option on that. The question is just, is there a way to go do it without I know I'm not finishing my sentences. Alright. So obviously building off the side of this is not getting us down there in such a way with because of the flipping our rover. Not sure what is going on here. Anyway, since obviously this didn't work, and it's not going to work. I mean, it can work. I could make it work. There's at least 2 ways I can make this work without making a actual constructed building,
Inventory full.
dedicated mining thing. I was hoping not to do that, and I'm not going to do that. Not because I'm limited by 0 no static grids like I am in my other playthrough, but because frankly I don't want to just build a static drill rig that runs a straight line. It's just not what I want to do. I was trying to build a drill rig off the side of my rover, but that failed miserably. So now we're going to have to build a intentionally built drill rover that can then transport us out of the hole with our
Inventory full.
with the hydrogen thruster on it. That's the whole point of this, is to be able to transport out a complete hydrogen thruster. Because we cannot build hydrogen thrusters in any format.
Inventory full.
And we don't want to let Mabel down. And Mabel is the suit AI in this one. Or in this playthrough.
Health low.
Oh. I'm doing alright this morning, Tom. Like I said, it was a bit of a family fun weekend with my son's birthday, but I'm trying to recover. I hope your weekend was smooth as well. Alright, we undid that. So, we cannot build a hydrogen thruster, but we can build a O2 a atmospheric thruster. So if we can build something that's able to transport this, just give me we're gonna need a bunch of it. Let's see, I need a vehicle that can transport that. Building a small grid that can transport a large grid, large thruster is not going to be easy. Small grids are just not built for that. Because, you know, they're small grid. And no part of the correct angle really survived. And if it had been that steep, it wouldn't have been drivable anyway, so... Alright.
Your health is low.
No, I'm not drilling a line to it. Helps if you aim your target correctly anyway. I'm just trying to open this out enough that I can get I died to Ice Storm.
Welcome back.
That's fun. Here's what I'm looking for. I was not accomplishing what I wanted there anyway, so let's not do it there. The drilled target is what we're going to. Alright.
Tower reports convoy arrived safely.
Where's that put us? See if we build on top of this. Where would that put our aim at? Would be a little above our target. He's not horrid. Eh, we'll go with it. See what happens. Again, keeping us in mind the size of the vehicle we're talking about. Just be able to transport that. So I don't need it quite as far as I have it. Close, though. I'm gonna leave it there then. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually have it straight even. Okay. Okay, so that is the width. Again, we got to be able to carry it, so... And the hydrogen thrusters are actually longer. Okay, so we're building a small grid that fits into that space. Or fits on that... Not just fits. Pretty much fills that pad. And then G, I need a rotor. And then I need a small head. And I need to lock the rotor. Okay. And that will let me start building the base. Height is the other thing that has to be accounted for. About there. Yeah, we're pretty close now. Oh, it takes forever to build things out of small squares. Especially large things like this. Holy cow, it's gonna take forever to build this base. Good news is, if I do this right, it won't, won't, have any issues with, see, that is a small issue with trying to build it like this, but what I was trying to say, one good thing about doing it this way is I won't have to, if I can get this to drill correctly, I won't have to worry about whether or not it can drive, or whether or not it's a smooth road or not. But again, the issue is getting the drill and tires, the drill diameter and tires to line up perfectly. That is a big can you do it balance thing. Though it might be easier in small grid than it is in large grid. Maybe not. Goal here is to figure out how to, and there. Alright, that is the outer square of our transport slash drill rover. Gee, we need wheels. Left and right suspensions.
Energy low.
Alright, I'll go get some energy in just a second. Let's go have to go off of that bar. So that's the bar we will be attaching wheels to. We'll turn my rover so you can see what I'm doing better. So without the ability to rest or to sleep through the nights like I have in my other playthrough. There's no lights on it, it's dark. Alright, back up. There. There. Gives us some idea of what we're working on. It gives you a better view of what I'm working on, I should say. Hopefully, turning is not something this vehicle will consider doing much. But we are going to build it as if it might have to. I want the rights.
Convoy dispatched. Delivery X5398. ETA 35 minutes.
Looks like we have to come down a row. To get these to attach where I want them to. Getting this as flat, making this what will run as flat as possible and as centered as possible will definitely make it more, or with these wheels coming all the way out to the corners as much as possible. I want to go one further forward. There. There. And on the front, we're only going to do 2. That way it can turn. Okay, so how far in did we go? We went in 3 bars. 2, 3, click there, and go the rest of the length. I know, terrible thing to have when you're building a small grid OCD. Forward, yeah, only one. Oh, the ice. Alright, that gives us our outer 2 rows. So, if we go straight across on these... Not there, sorry. Wrong line. If we go straight across on these... Like that.
Health critical.
Oh, the ice is going to kill me again. Good news is, it is not physically possible for it to kill me as many times this week as ice cannot kill me as many times as bullets did last week. Oh, you think that's funny, do you, Tom? It killed me a bunch last week. Alright, so right tires. This time, let's line them up with this. Let's go right there. Right there, and right there. Right there. Find out real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 8. I hit that dead on the money. But as you notice, there are no wheels. There's a reason there are no wheels. Because this row gets in the way, which is why I lowered everything down a row. Oh, we're reaching a point where there's so many pieces here I can't tell what I'm looking at. Okay, now they should all spawn their wheels in. There we go, that looks nice. Oh, it actually was in the wrong spot. That's funny.
Your health is low.
Oh, the ice is trying to kill me. Oh, we'll go heal up again. I'm like getting whacked by ice while I'm trying to heal. Trilogy. And there.
Tower reports convoy arrived.
That should give us enough wheels to make it up the hill. Put another set of turning wheels on the front, obviously, to match these on the back, but I can't with the thruster sitting there. Just work my way around this. And this completely temporary vehicle is probably going to be as ugly as anything else I've made on here. Well, we did at least make one pretty vehicle so far. Got blown up, but... Or shot all the heck. I don't know if it blown... We didn't blow it up, but... Starting to get an idea of what the framework of this thing will look like now. Now we're getting a little bit of welding into it. Yes, that is have that top layer be the actual bed of it and be completely
Energy low.
flush or flat all the way across. And then I can use landing gear to attach it attach the large grid thrusters to it. Kind of like tie downs on a flatbed. In fact, it's exactly what I'm thinking. It's tie downs on a flatbed. And low energy. What do I think of SE2? Tom asks. Well, I am withholding all judgment. Sounds like a cop-out answer, I realize, but it's not. Space Engineers, as it is now, is nothing like Space Engineers when it released. SE2 is nothing like Space Engineers is now. It's more like Space Engineers when it released. It's a framework of what they're starting to build. I will look at SE2 in depth probably about the time that the survival mechanics come out. Because that's where I will start being interested in trying to play it. I admitted on my other stream that of my nearly 2,500 hours of Space Engineers gameplay, you could not find 500 of it in creative. I just don't do creative mode. I've actually built, I think, 3 ships ever in creative mode. Where I find my entertainment in survival and the mining, refining, assembling, and then constructing it piece by piece versus just clicking the blocks into existence. There's nothing wrong with that kind of gameplay. It's just not the gameplay I enjoy, which is what makes Space Engineers so great, is that people who just want to make something cool, they can make something cool. And someone like me who not only wants to make something cool, but wants to go through all the steps to have made it, we can do that too. And what it really does, and the best part is, it allows us to switch back and forth between those two types of gameplays seamlessly. There's not a... I mean, not even Minecraft can let you pull off what you can pull off in this game. There is just something truly unique about the ability to say, hey, I am going to build a blank, build it, and then drive or fly it around. I truly, I can't think of another game that lets you do that. At least not in the way that you can in Space Engineers. So when Space Engineers 2 gets its survival updates, I will then start enjoying it. I am sure. I guess that's a really roundabout way of answering your question, but I answered your question. At least to my ability. I don't have an opinion of SC2 yet, because I don't want to make one. I am actually looking forward to the unified grid system. I see some of the downfalls that people have pointed out, but I also see a couple of really good ones, good things. And one would be like this vehicle I'm currently building. I'm going to have to fill in this entire base with small grid squares. If I had a unified situation where I had one small grid wide or height by one large grid square that I could fill in the gaps on top here with, it would go much, much faster. But that's not available to us because of the difference between large grid and small grid. Really? Guess I need some energy anyway, so I guess it's just frustrating. I can't. That one. This one. Okay. Oh, that's still from last week. Now this gets me hopefully enough wheels to be able to drive up and down this hill. If not, it's going to be fun adding more wheels while I'm down there. Okay.
Health low.
1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Is this a scenario, escape from Mars, or a personal goal? This is the scenario, escape from Mars. The original scenario was made by Duckroll. It is currently maintained by Wircorel. We have ran into one small glitch created by the Apex survival updates. It seems to have broken Wiki Scrap. Wircorel is aware of the situation and is working on it. As of today, at least, he does not have an answer or a solution programmed and released yet. So we are waited with bated breath for that to have happened, or for that to happen. But yes, this is the scenario, escape from Mars. I have currently been through the original ice mine, which is somewhere. Hold on, where's it at? Way over yonder is where you spawn. 20 kilometers that way. And then the ice mine, Mickey's. We went through the flight research station, the Seeker Weapons Research Facility, and now we are currently working our way back down into the MRE experiment site to pull out the hydrogen thrusters to try to build a spacefaring vehicle that could leave, which gives us a couple of options once we can pull that off. We could just go ahead and bug out, or we could decide to go and really take combat to the evil G-Corps, which is a decision for another day. I hope I answered your question there, Fire Futran. Fire Futuron. I was going to call you Fire and call it good. How's that? I hope that answers your question, Fire. If you got any others, just feel free to ask, man. If you're looking for me doing a personal goal playthrough where I've made the odds as challenging or unchallenging as they are, you should join me on YouTube at 12:30. I'm working on doing a circumnavigating per tam with a rover only. Well, a rover has to circumnavigate. I also have a few flyers, but everything has to do it on the actual. Well, I struggling with seeing all the letters, so we're just gonna go with the first four and call you Fire. Even using my magnifier, I'm having issues. Right, and that should let us finish this guy out. That's got all of our wheels on now. Now we can work on the flatbed, the battery, batteries and that kind of stuff. Then we have to figure out how the drills are going to fit on here. Oh, I'm happy to have you watching, man. How was your weekend? Mine was filled with family because it was my 16-year-old's birthday. Let's keep weight centered and as low as possible with the way this is going to, what this is going to be carrying. And of course. Have you ever played the scenario Escape from Mars before, Fire? Okay, so you know the premise that you start off with very few blocks you can build, and you have to unlock the different locations to, or go through different locations to get access to different blocks. And certain blocks you just simply never are able to build. Oh. I'll put my row of batteries right down this center aisle here. And then we're going to figure out how to line up the drills. Never had success doing what I'm going to try to be doing, which is always fun. In fact, very few people I've watched or played with have ever had success doing what I'm working on doing, because rovers are not great miners. It's just the way it is. If I was building it for mining, I would not be building it this way, but I'm building it this way only because of transporting out hydrogen thrusters. Hopefully I have enough power cells to at least get through most of those. Should have joined us on Thursday, or joined me on Thursday. Thursday was nothing but me getting shot up This is more of a build stream. Oh no, we're out of power cells, looks like. Which means that will have to do. Now let's power up those with some wind power. Of course, I forgot to empty out my build planner. I don't know that how much wind we'll get just sitting here, but I know that these storms keep coming in, and the storms will give us plenty, right? Mm. I don't do it this way very often. Normally do it with a modded windmill. Forget how to do it this way sometimes. That's getting us enough. That'll definitely get us power up while we're building the rover. Charge my batteries.
Energy low.
You'll notice the red, the smoldering red Hulk in the background there. That was my hover rover that I was using for combat last week. It lost the war of attrition. It was able to win each skirmish, but the infinite resources of G Corp. Yeah. Didn't really have a solution for that. Let's see. Let's do that. Now then, if we want to come forward to... So 1, 2, 3. I'm just cutting a hole the right size to put in the cockpit I want right there. Let's see. That was all I was doing. I know it looked way more scientific than it was. Or less science. I don't know which way it looked. Looked way more important than it was, is what I think I was trying to say. Can you pressurize a cockpit on Mars with external air? I don't think you can. Which would mean we need an H2. Honestly, I haven't messed with convoys too awful much. I got lucky and hydromanned a base over by Mickey's early on. I actually have it titled Bought with Blood somewhere over there. Or I got rid of it. But over by Mickey's, I hydromanned in on one of their and that is a... Sorry, apparently I have a spam bot. So we're going to block it. There we go. Sorry about that. I hydromanned in and bounced underneath the arc of fire from the Gatling guns and was able to take big chunks of the conveyor system out and work my way through it slowly to be, you know, grinding out block by block to take control of a base and build off the base rather than having to go through all of the different convoys. Though I am sure I will still have convoy fighting in my future, unfortunately. Because even where I'm at now, I am clearly still having supply woes. For example, steel plate. I cannot get enough steel plate to keep myself going at the amount that I need. So I am going to have to go and find convoys and smash convoys yet. But if my combat vessel was in better shape, I'd actually probably go and attack that power cell shipment. But that's also not something I'm in the situation of ready to go and do. It seems to be my typical issue with going after convoys is the ones I want show up when I'm in the middle of something else. So how high above the ground Trying to think something out and it's not coming out. Just bear with me while I throw blocks out to think. Because your wheels are going to be that high. So that's how high my wheels are. So where do I need to place my drill so that my drill will put a hole that high? No deeper. But no higher. Therein lies the problem with this particular kind of build. Let's see if I do it at this level. I turn it on. See, in left click mode, we're already drilling too deep. At least 2 blocks too deep. So, we have to come up at least 2 blocks. Alright, turn it back on. We are getting some deformation, but not enough. And if I switch this terrain clear, now we're way... Look how huge of a whole divot that just smashed into the ground.
Energy low.
I think if we install the row of drills on a piston and take the piston up 1/2 of a block, and then drop it back down, we will be down the 1/2 block we need. I know, I just said that, spoke in circles, but it's starting to make sense to my brain. See if I can make it make sense to what you guys are hearing in a second. Alright. Alright, I got a plan here, I think. If it works, it'll be great. If it doesn't, should be in position where we can make it still work. Okay. On the front, we want to set up a pair of pistons. Gee. I'm trying to be cheeky. I don't know if it'll work. Never done what I'm about to try. Nope. Oh well, it was worth trying. Alright. Go the other way around. Mostly the dual pistons here is because it looks more balanced and makes me happier that way. There we go. Now we have one square. I hit the right spot.
Convoy dispatched. Delivery X5398. ETA 35 minutes.
Okay. Now it will cause all kind of phantom forces if those pistons raise or lower at different speeds or whatever, so we don't want that to happen. Alright. Now. Let's go to our pistons, make a group. Now, max distance is normally 2 meters. Go take it all the way out just so I can think that through. 3, 4. So 4 meters is 2 cubes. Or 4 meters is 2 meters is 4 cubes. Each cube is a half meter. which means if we're going to do a max distance of half of a block, it'd be 0.25. And actually, let's make it 0.75. That way we have a little bit more wiggle. There. That should, emphasis on should, get me to do what I want. I don't want rock. Can't do anything with rock. Make rock go away. Here, stick in the big hole that I failed in. Where was that at? There it is. Giant hole in ground that did not work like planned. Have rock. Okey-doke. Now, we come out in front. The necessary amount. Now, originally we came out up to 1, 2, and it was not quite far enough, or was up just too far. So now we're up 1.5. Now if we stick the drill on, sorry, we need to move it out far enough we can test out what I'm trying to test out. Which actually is not there. It's actually even with the bottom of this, which is actually here. Yes, it's whether or not this. We're trying to line up this part of the ground. Okay. There's where we want to put our drill for testing. Alright, just turn it on. Okay, well, it's clearly not digging as deep of a spot, so I clearly should have gone down another block. Being able to do this in a right click would definitely be faster, but the kind of crater it can dig out. Though we are geared now, or we could back it up quite a bit, and we could make it work. Hold on, we'll try that. Let's go up first, and then lower it down one at a time on right-click mode. I don't know if you knew this. This is fairly new. Terrain clear mode. It's a setting, both here in Build Vision and on your K menu. By setting terrain clearing mode on, it's the same as turning right-click on all the time. And yeah, fortunately, that's the catch-22 is flirting with disaster on right-click mode here. But the best thing here is I'm only planning on drilling a straight line. I'm going straight down a hill. Once I get this lined up, provided I've aimed even halfway decently, I won't have to turn anything on or off again till I get to the bottom. That actually might, if I tried it in right-click mode, that might be the perfect spot. If I try it in right-click mode like this and it's wrong, I will have to go through and pave the whole way, which will make it a nightmare. Although I guess not technically that bad, because I only have to have the drills to get down. I will take them off and drive on the ground, drive on the smooth ground on the way up. So we'll try that. I am going to try to be absolutely as dumb as possible. How's that sound to everybody? Alright. There's the line I'm going to attach my right-click drills to. And I actually do want them out from the wheels a little bit, especially if I'm worried about having to potentially not this far out, but having to potentially pave underneath my wheels to make sure everything goes out nice and flat. It'd be nice to not be working, you know, half a block at a time. Again, yeah, and this is what happens when something goes wrong on right-click mode. You end up with a giant hole in the ground. Then you can't do what you want to do. And I'm going to suffocate. Oh, that was close. Actually, I can get in and out of the base easy. Alright, I'll show you real fast what the situation is. So, let me make sure I have enough hydrogen for this trip. And I could bring some ice buck up with me. So, the secret weapons research base, or the MRE base that we're going into down here, is in the bottom of this gargantuan crater. So you can't really drive down here under normal circumstances. And there's a tiny little door here. This leads down to here, into this base, this underground base, which has nice little bit of ice resources, that kind of stuff over here. But the kicker is it has a crashed ship underground. This crashed ship is full of hydrogen thrusters. Hydrogen thrusters that I can't build. In fact, I can't even repair these until I can. Ooh, so I will definitely have to go and do the other thing. So I can either try to escape the planet with the completed thrusters on this ship, which there are quite a few, or I can attack the main facility, which has an escape rocket on it. I shouldn't know that, but I do. Like you, I've seen other people play this scenario. But so long story short on that is, my plan is to get in here and get these hydrogen thrusters. The only way to get these hydrogen thrusters, though, is out. And there's no way to do it without, bringing a rover down here to get them. And where's my rover at? From here. There. My rovers are 800 kilometers that direction. So my plan is to just drive a kilometer through the ground to have a transport for the hydrogen thrusters in and out, so that I can bring the transport thrusters up on that flatbed that I'm building right now. That's the plan. And since we're in here, let's get some ice.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Save me from having to go all the way back to the other base. So yeah, that is the terrible plan I have concocted for the rover I'm working on right now. It's why I'm building it on a downhill angle to go as close to a straight line as I can accomplish.
Inventory full.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. I think we'll do it right there. Real question here, especially doing it in right click, is how many drills will I need? Definitely want to line these up with the wheels, though. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I can see that. I can see that. A few other things, though, that were doomed to never work and got lucky and succeeded already in this playthrough, so I think it does. I think we should do it. And the best thing about space engineers, if you start a plan like this, and you are wrong and you are doomed to fail, it tends to fail rather spectacularly to the entertainment of the people watching. So, my hope is that it'll succeed. My plan B is it fails so spectacularly that it's fun to watch. Now that will should get me tire width or tire depth underneath all my tires. Now I just need to make sure I have enough height for the thruster. And yes, I realize a hydrogen thruster is bigger than a atmospheric, but I can't build in hydrogen, so I'm doing my best using a atmospheric to get me going. Gives me a frame of reference at least, right?
Energy low.
The worst case scenario I could possibly have is doom voxels. That is what terrifies me about doing this. Is the possibility of doom voxels. Because just a single doom voxel and what is otherwise a perfectly good tunnel becomes scrap. Or I have to look up how to use voxel hands, which I've never done. What can I say? Over engineering is my typical go-to, not magic. Why do I have 4,000 stone on me? Here, fill in the giant hole with big chunk of stone. Go away. I think voxel hands works like Dancy Pants. It's a kind of magic. Yeah, that's why I
Critical.
pretty much never use it. I was really... If I was going to go in half measures, I'd go ahead and detach this. And just test it back and forth and see if a path I could drill as is. However, I am not doing half measures. We're going all in. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing. With that in mind, let's throw some more drills on. It helps if you hit the right button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holy cow. I did not do that intentionally. That was just dumb luck. And you were watching, so you know I'm not kidding. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hopefully, if I get all of those drills put together, I will not have doom voxels. Why did I hear something break? That's weird. I'm gonna add a couple more just in case. And mostly right here in the center area, where the doom voxels were the worst possible thing to happen. Alright, so now we have our giant flatbed.
Tower reports convoy arrived safely.
Oh, I see what the breaking noise was. It rattled around till it actually broke free and moved. Okay. Which is why it's not just going to be, thrown on top of it when it gets down. When I get down there, it's going to be mag plated down so that it can't wiggle. Oh, I'm out of plate, that's why. There's no point in doing it, but I should do it for safety. I should put some set of gyros on here. Yeah, there should not be any need whatsoever for gyros. But, something that is literally supposed to drive a straight road that it itself carves. And then turn around and drive back up the exact same road under heavy load. Maybe I should put some gyros on it just to be safe. Especially since one broken one bump and something I cannot build is broken for good. So do you still play Space Engineers or just watch it? Have you tried SE2 out yet? Or are you like me in the category of people waiting for the survival update to come out and it become a full functioning game?
Low health.
I understand that. Lord knows I don't have a top-end game rig. I'd love one, but I don't have one. High-end game rigs can cost thousands of dollars. My wife would probably strangle me. The storms they put in with Apex Survival are quite a bit more frustrating than the old storms used to be. You're constantly being pelted and injured. And heaven help me, on Pertam, irradiated. Oh, I have ran way over today. I am having a great time management day today. I'm actually supposed to already be over on YouTube on my other stream. Let me finish this last little bit up and I will sign off. So Thursday, we will try to get the rest of the drill transporter finished out. And then we will see about making our journey to the center of the earth. This is the Escape from Mars playthrough. I am your that's wrong click. I am the blind gaming guy. Join me Tuesdays and Thursdays here on Twitch from 10 to noon for more Escape from Mars, and Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12:30 to 3:30 normally for my around the world or around we go Pertam build or Pertam run. I'll see you guys next time. If I click the right spots, I will.